he said, what's going to happen when I get hit? We're going to find out when he get hit by me what's happening.
First round knockouts. Dan Halpin, I guess, is the only man, and this one may not go much longer.
July 11th, 1985. The crowd packed into the casino ballroom at Trump's Hotel in Atlantic City didn't quite know what they were about to witness. That night, a 19-year-old kid from Brooklyn stepped through the ropes. His name was Mike Tyson, and at that point, almost nobody outside the boxing world had heard of him.
Introducing Mike Tyson.
This was only his 5th professional fight. His previous 4 opponents, not one of them made it past the 2nd round.
Early in the 4th, can Tyson finish this? I think so. I think so. That's enough.
Brief pro career hit like a steam hammer.
Tyson was sharp, razor sharp. Years under Customato had seen to that.
Wait. Oh, the legs have gone. This is all over.
The old trainer would look at this kid and tell anyone who'd listen, when he grows up, he's going to be heavyweight champion of the world.
I believe he will be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. And if he remains dedicated, interested, and without any distractions, I believe that eventually he will go down in history as the greatest heavyweight champion we've ever had.
And he meant every word. This 77-year-old man had poured everything he had into this kid from Brooklyn, drilling the fundamentals into him day after day, rep after rep. It was Cuss who gave Tyson his most dangerous weapon, the peekaboo style. Low stance, hands high, chin tucked behind the gloves. That constant side-to-side head movement, like a pendulum counting down the last seconds of your career. The whole style was designed to walk Tyson right into his opponent's chest, into that tight space where tall fighters feel completely lost, and then unload. Hooks and uppercuts coming from angles you just can't prepare for.
You could take 10 Harvard students, and they all learn from the same teacher in the same school, and then when they go to perform in a court as a lawyer, they all have their certain character which they perform under. And I think it's the same way in boxing. You can have the same teacher, but with the character you possess, you always come out to perform different.
The red corner.
Now the man standing in the opposite corner that night wasn't there to make up the numbers. John Alderson, 28 years old, out of West Virginia. 4 pro fights, 4 wins, all 4 by knockout. And when he wasn't boxing, he was working full-time as a coal miner. Every single day, he went down into the dark, doing the kind of work that breaks most men. By July of '85, he looked like exactly the kind of test that Iron Mike needed. But the moment that first bell rang, it was clear. Tyson was operating on a completely different level.
Matter of fact, 39-second fight against Rick Spain here in Atlantic City on June 20th. That's Tyson. Tyson in the white with the red stripe, solid red trunks, with the white stripe will be John
From
Alderson.
the opening bell, Mike worked his way inside with short left hooks and right hands to the head, breaking Alderson's nose early in the first round. Alderson tried to keep him at range with the jab, but Tyson's head movement made that nearly impossible. At one point, Mike briefly switched to a southpaw stance before returning to his natural position, a small but telling sign of how comfortable and in control he felt throughout.
Cappuccino will have a busy night tonight, and this 6th-rounder may not last very long with the kind of shots there. A left hook right to the face that time of Alderson.
Tyson is so powerful, no matter how he delivers those punches, they hurt. For every punch throughout. Now, as he gets on against tough competition, the question is, when he comes in like this, will he get nailed with counter shots? That's really what Alderson wants to do.
Tyson, you heard documented, of course, the young man fighting and fighting, wearing his historic, reads book after book of boxing and watches all historic films of the greats.
He's got an edge. His manager, Jimmy Jacobs, has the largest fight film collection in the world, so he can look at all those. He does look at all these, but he's such raw talent at his age, you can't help but think about it.
How much pressure and how much can a 19-year-old take putting the pressure on to be the youngest champion in the world?
Well, of course, that's making these bold predictions, and they put pressure on themselves. Now, Tyson switches to southpaw. I haven't seen him do that before.
Interesting. Lands with the lead left. Alderson is already bleeding from the nose, and I think that was from the very first left hand. Tyson, you can see almost like a bull as he just chases Alderson around the ring. Big John said he had to get off first tonight. He has got to use those long arms to his advantage. He has not been able to do so far in round one.
You know, when Tyson switches to southpaw, I think that's the clue for Alderson with that long reach and height. I would just let that punch go.
Alderson, a very good amateur record, 154-12. Took 3 years off from boxing, however. Worked in the mines in West Virginia. They started the laying off down there, and he went back into the boxing ring. And here he is at 4-0 with 4 knockouts.
For Alderson, I think the key, he has got to throw that jab and follow with the straight right. Has done that only once and did land the right, although it didn't hurt Tyson. There it is. Now that right missed, but if he keeps doing that, he's going to give Mike Tyson something to think about as he comes in. There it is again. He landed exactly right.
So the closing seconds of round number one. Mike Tyson, the shorter of the two, against big John Alderson.
Between rounds, Tyson's corner called for more body work. He responded immediately. In the second, he began mixing hooks to the body with short combinations upstairs, and the damage accumulated fast. A deep cut opened above Alderson's left eye, limiting his already minimal offensive output even further. 2 heavy combinations sent Alderson to the canvas. He got up both times, but the fight was effectively over.
Yeah, I think so. Muscle underneath. Now, Tyson, they told him to go to the body, and he's trying to do that in this round. But Mike hasn't been that busy when he gets on the inside. Good uppercut by Tyson.
Tried to lead in with a left jab and a right hand, but left himself wide open for the ducking Mike Tyson as he went right underneath.
Mike Tyson doesn't wear any socks. I don't remember seeing a fighter in a long time that doesn't wear any socks. Or if he does, they're so short they don't even peek out over his shoes. I don't know what that's apropos of. It's the first time I've ever seen it, and it's kind of odd. Now there's the right. Oh, good countering right hand, and that stunned Alderman.
He backs up another right hand, a combination by Tyson, and he goes on the attack.
On the inside, Tyson is short, quick punches.
The longest fight Tyson has ever been in has been a 4-rounder. He got a knockout there. His other 3 fights were first-round knockouts. Dan Halpin, I guess, is the only man, and this one may not go much longer as a crushing right hand. But that cut just on the outside of the left eye starts to ooze some blood now, and Tyson goes right back in on top of it. Tyson trying for his 5th straight knockout. Alderson weary on his feet, ready to go at any time.
He's just trying to survive now. He's got to throw something out, though. He's laying in with Tyson.
Really, that is a slip, not a knockout. Alderson peeking in over that swelling left eye, and here comes Tyson. Alderson throwing the right hand, no effect. He's almost virtually out of his feet right now, 29 years of age. Again, as I pointed out at the top of the show, that in itself could prove to be some difference in this fight, if nothing else.
You know, Tyson looked at Cappuccino a moment ago as if, do you want to stop this?
There he goes right back to work on that left eye as Alderson stays on his feet. Try to gamely throw a right hand as you see the closing moments of the second round here. Alderson down in this round. They survive as he goes down again at the bell. He's got to get up. Now, a fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round with the exception of the last. So
after the second round, Alderson's corner made the decision for him and stopped the contest. The victory was another efficient, clinical performance from Tyson, one that underscored both his tactical discipline and his ability to close a fight once he finds his range. For Alderson, the broken nose and the cut told the story better than the scorecards ever could.
Okay.
So you heard the suggestion of the doctors leaning in. Why don't you just come back and fight another day? Frank Cappuccino has not given us a word yet that this one is over, but he may very shortly here.
John, church is out. The fight's over.
The fight is over. Rather interestingly put by Frank Cappuccino as this one ends.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Frank Cappuccino stops the bout at the end of the second round. The winner by technical knockout, still undefeated, 5 in a row, all by KO, Mike Tyson.
Well, Mike Tyson, it was a performance in which you showed, I thought, the power that we know you have and the aggression, but also maybe walked into a couple more right hands than you'd like.
Well, the right hands that I walked into wasn't catching me solidly. They were grazing right hands, which I'm very peculiar when the right hand comes. Excellent. The right hands are mostly never effective on catching me because I'm always slipping with them, and I'm on an angle which the points go diagonally forward.
Okay, let's take a look at the last knockdown when you sent him down, and you can comment on it for us. Well, it's rolling a little bit in our monitor, but basically you really had a lot of power and you were nailing him with short punches.
I was nailing with punches because I saw he was more accepted to the right hand because he was leaning on his right hand side, and more acceptable to right hand. I felt a little funny. I wasn't Mike Tyson that you saw earlier in the past because of the star buildup. It was a little intimidating.
Is all that getting to you a bit? Now, you've placed a lot of pressure on yourself. You and Customato, he's stated flatly he thinks you're going to be the youngest heavyweight champion, the greatest heavyweight champion. What does all that do to your mental frame of mind?
Well, I don't look at it that way because deep inside, when I'm not involved with boxing, I'm just a 19-year-old kid. And when I'm in the ring, then that's when I take care of business. Today was more difficult, a rugged performance because of the man's height. And he wasn't there to fight. He was there to try to last. He wasn't there really to fight. And he was running, and it made it more difficult because he was only there to survive.